Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Formula Fun podcast with me, Jay.
And me, Sinead. Hi. Hello.
Wow, Austria. We're here to review the Austrian Grand Prix, and then after that, we're going to have a look at the week ahead. But I bet you're happy.
It was quite the weekend, for sure. I am happy, but you know who's not happy? Like the entire internet.
Right. Yeah, I think we need to actually rewind and back into the weekend. So, for context, for those who don't know, George Russell, Sinead's, I don't want to say future husband because your future husband is wonderful, but
future
favorite driver.
Yeah,
sure. Sinead's favorite driver won the race. Only his second win of the year, which I find bonkers after, the fact that Mercedes are so far ahead. But Antonelli has just gone on this amazing run of form. This 19-year-old kid, George Russell's teammate, has really shown George Russell up a bit at times. But George Russell got his second win of the season. But it doesn't start from the race on Sunday. It starts from Saturday. So I'll explain what happened, and then you can give me your thoughts on it as a Russell fan and see if there's any bias in it or not. Okay, so qualifying is coming to the end. In qualifying session 3, for those who don't know, the fastest time in that Q3 session, qualifying 3 session, the fastest time gets pole position. It's about 12 minutes long, and they have 12 minutes to set their fastest lap time. Usually that means most teams go out, or most drivers in that top 10 will go out twice. They will go out to the pits, drive round, warm up their tyres, do their really fast lap, slow down, come back into the pits, get some new tyres, go out again, do their really fast lap, and then that's the end of qualifying. And all these teams really try to time it. So the last person on track is usually going to get the best of the race conditions in terms of the track evolution. It gets grippier because there's more F1 tyre rubber that gets put down, which is grippier than just standard tarmac. But right at the end, Verstappen decided, I want pole position, so I'm going to throw it into the second last corner, and it's either going to stick, and I'm going to potentially be in a hope of getting pole position, or I'm going to bin it and crash. I'm joking. Obviously, he didn't think I'm going to bin it and crash. But he did. He crashed at 140 miles an hour, triggered the medical car, because as soon as you hit a barrier, if you go over a certain amount of G-force in your cockpit, that triggers the medical car to come out and check everything is okay. He crashed. He was then quickly followed by Kimi Antonelli, and he was then quickly followed by George Russell. There was a yellow flag, a single waved yellow flag was being waved at that final corner when Verstappen went off. George Russell posted the second fastest final sector of the entire weekend, and the final sector was where this crash happened. He posted the second fastest final sector of the entire weekend up to that point, yet he also lifted off and obeyed the rules. But the elephant in the room is it shouldn't have been a single waved yellow flag, are my thoughts. And I have more thoughts, but I'll wait and see what you think, Sinead, first.
Okay. Can we quickly explain what does a single waved yellow flag mean? So it means that the drivers have to lift off the accelerator and coast?
Yeah, pretty much. So every, as far as the audience and the viewer and us watching as fans of Formula One, we watch Formula One, the track is broken up into 3 sectors, Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3. Within those sectors, there's also mini sectors. The driver who sees a yellow flag has to lift to show that in that mini sector, they're not allowed to set a faster time or a fast time. So they have to show with the data and also from the timing of the mini sectors that they lifted off the accelerator / if it's in a braking zone, maybe brake a little bit harder. Just a yellow flag is exactly that. It's a caution. So lift off. A double waved yellow is slow down and be prepared to stop. Those are the two.
Yeah. Is it worth mentioning at this point that the other Mercedes driver, Kimi Antonelli, whether correctly or incorrectly interpreted that he had seen or been given the information that it was a double yellow flag and therefore abandoned his lap?
Well, I have sympathy for Kimi because
so do I.
could see Verstappen going off. He saw the dirt being kicked off in the distance. The corner is a blind corner. It comes over a slight hill, and then the right-hander is very much blind. You throw it in, and the car just grips in. Not in Verstappen's case, but Kimi Antonelli would have seen the remnants of dirt and dust that came up when Verstappen hit the wall. So therefore, Kimi also goes under a yellow panel. That yellow panel would have been in the corner of his eye. Obviously, he's not looking at that. He's looking at the corner. The corner's a right-hander, and the flag is on the left. He sees a yellow flash. Bono, his race engineer, comes over the radio and goes, "Yellow, yellow, yellow, yellow." He's gone, "I need to back off because it's a yellow flag. I've seen a car go into the wall." He thinks it's a double waved yellow, which I understand. Russell, meanwhile, saw a single waved yellow, which is what he was approached because he had more time to approach. He wouldn't have seen any dirt or anything kicked up from Verstappen. He said what he thought had happened is that somebody might have gone a little bit wide. They've waved a single yellow, but that person's now cleared out of the way. He's seen the yellow. He has lifted. He's seen on his delta, on his steering wheel, what his timing is, and it's quicker than he did last time. So he's lifted and then floored it again and gone round. However, no, you go. You carry on.
So when Russell crosses the line after having lifted, so he lifts, he sees the danger is past, he slams it to the floor and he goes over the line. His time is the fastest lap of Q3. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
That is correct.
I think you know what I'm going to say, but I also think that it's right, which is that I think he followed the rules and he did everything within the rule book and he followed it to the letter and it resulted in him getting pole position. And I think that's fair.
Okay, 100%. I don't think Russell did anything wrong. Russell followed the rules and did what he should do. My issue is safety and the fact that it was only a single wave yellow flag when Verstappen has gone into a wall so hard that the G-force measurement has gone so extreme that the medical car has come out, has had to be deployed to check he's okay. That means that there's been quite a serious impact. And the fact that it's gone straight to single wave yellow and not a double, had George Russell have come off the throttle, floored it again, spun his car and ended up anywhere near Verstappen, that's terrifying. Because it was 140 miles an hour that Verstappen crashed. So imagine 140 miles, Verstappen stationary, sat in his car, another 140 miles an hour. Now, I also cast my mind back to, probably not so much you, because I'm not entirely sure you watched it this time, but Jules Bianchi, I believe 2010 Japanese Grand Prix, single waved yellow flag, tried to keep up, get some more momentum, get a bit more speed, ended up skating off the road and had in all intents and purposes, a fatal accident. And that was why they introduced the virtual safety car that we have now. And it's also, F1 is such a safe sport. They've done everything. They've introduced the Halo. They've introduced, the VS, the virtual safety car. It's a red flag in conditions when probably 20 years ago it wouldn't be a red flag, etc. They're very safety conscious. But that was a step too far in the wrong direction for me.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying it's Russell.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is that it's the stewards, it's on the stewards, and it's on whoever it was making that call. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think you're right.
And I think Russell would as well.
Yeah, I think he would too. He obviously didn't know the full scope of what was happening at the time. But I do have to hand it to
What
him.
makes it scary for me?
Yeah. No,
What
go
makes
ahead.
it scary for me is had Verstappen sort of stayed on track, but sort of like spun it. The fact that it's like a blind corner, George Russell goes into that blind corner, and on the exit of that corner, there's a car facing the opposite direction, and it's sort of still on track. Yeah, that's the scary bit for me. But having said that, George Russell did a very good job, and it was a pole position worthwhile. Definitely.
Absolutely. I'm also like, I'm sure all the other drivers do this too. It's probably just because I pay more attention to Russell because he is my favourite driver. But it strikes me quite often that he really knows his stuff, if you know what I mean. Like, it seems like during the races, he's always kind of analysing not just what he's doing, but what the other drivers are doing, kind of like predicting other people's strategies, all while he's like driving at like 250 kilometers an hour and keeping his eye on every kind of bit of data and information. Like, would you say that's fair? Like, he's on the upper end of skill in that regard? I don't know.
100%. I think him, and in terms of following the rules and knowing the rule book inside out, I'd say Verstappen is one because he knew how to race in
He knows
close
how to push
combat
the limits. Yeah.
just on the right
Yeah.
side of the rules. Vettel was also someone that really knew the rule book inside out and back to front. Hamilton, I think, to a certain degree as well. Alonso, in terms of reading the race, Russell's really showing, especially in that race when he was like, if you pit Kimi now, they'll have to pit Verstappen. And he was like managing the other race as well. But did you hear Toto Wolff on Saturday?
What did he
just
say?
Drive. He just said to Russell, just drive the car, because it's almost like a case of, is Russell too much in his head that he's not thinking about just going as fast as he can?
Yeah,
There's
he's
people
not
that are paid
trusting the people
a lot of
around
money
him to do their job. Yeah, he's kind of no, definitely think so.
There's people that are paid a lot of money to do the engineering work, and it. So yeah, I can understand that Russell at times they're like, Russell, be quiet. We're doing our job. You do yours.
I also felt a little bit for the guys in the Ferrari garage, because what we haven't mentioned is that up to that point, just before Max crashed, Ferrari were in a 1-2, weren't they? So was it Leclerc was first and Hamilton was second? Yeah. So it cut away. I think probably even the cameramen thought, oh, this is a washout, like nothing else is going to happen. And it had cut to the Ferrari garage, and all the Ferrari engineers were like patting each other on the back and like cheering and clapping. Now, a 2-3 result is also very good, but I think they thought like, oh, it's 1-2 in the bag, Ferrari front row, and then Russell just came in at the end and kind of took it off them, which I did feel sorry for them.
It surprised everyone. It surprised the commentary team as well. They were like, oh, hang on. Russell's just gone faster, but then there's a lap time been deleted. Like, what's going on? I think it was 22 seconds after Verstappen crashed that they brought out the double yellow, which is just too long in my eyes.
Yeah.
But anyway, Russell then...
Also, like, last point on that is it's interesting to me that I think Russell even said this himself, which I will admit seemed a bit cold, which is that he said, like, essentially he got the fastest lap time even with lifting, and if he hadn't had to do that, he would have got an even faster one. Like, I think he said something like there was like another 4/10 in the lap or something. I don't know. Yeah,
I am going to call absolute BS on 4/10, but maybe a tenth. But also, we've got to remember, these cars, every time you lift off, you're recharging your battery. So he lifted off. That would have put some recharge into his battery. As soon as he planted that throttle on that final straight, guarantee he would have had more energy.
Interesting. So maybe through all of this, he's discovered another approach to building speed. I don't know. Like,
well, yeah, accident? I mean, you see it all over in terms of like people. The guys are lifting off a lot more now before corners, because it is like you've got the super clipping thing that we've spoken about in the past. The awful thing where the engine just dies off, but they've given it a name, super clipping, so it must be good. It's not good. It's awful. But that super clipping is the engine slowing down and therefore recharging the battery. So yeah, drivers have had to adapt to that driving style for this year, for certain. Now, George Russell then did a very good race.
Yes.
But I still think he's worried about Antonelli, because
Of
Antonelli
course he
was
is.
flying at the end. And if Antonelli didn't have those offs in the first couple of laps because there was some brake issues,
Mm-hmm.
I think Antonelli potentially wins that race.
Yep, I think you're right. But I also think that's the game, baby. Like if is sort of these things happen. But it made
100%.
for a great race because right to the very, very end, it was really tense. You know, Max was gaining on Russell like nearly a second a lap or half a second a lap. And then Antonelli was gaining on Max. And it definitely served Russell that it was Max that was behind him and not Antonelli, I think.
Yes, I think I
Like
agree with you.
directly
Yeah.
behind him.
And it's interesting because Austria has always been a really I'm not going to say easy track to overtake, but it's been a track where there has been a lot of overtakes. But this race seemed harder to get
Yeah.
past, and there was definitely that toing and throwing. The Verstappen Hamilton lap 11,
Pure cinema.
I was
Absolute
all
cinema.
for that.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
It was
that
really,
cool.
really good.
Now, what did you think about that drone shot?
Right, I was actually going to bring this up because Tobias and I were literally just talking about it. So they kept, they had this one camera that was on like a zip wire that was on like the inside of the track and it swept round. What corner was it? 6?
No, it wasn't a zip wire. It was a drone.
Oh, it was a drone, but it kept doing the same path. So it felt like it
Same
was
part of the track.
Yeah. I loved it because it was capturing an angle that you don't see very often, sort of like from the inside. I know. There were some. What did you think of it? Because there was some hilarious bits where the camera director like made the worst decisions ever, and like got away from. And the commentators were like, "Oh, we're
TV
just
direction.
no, we're not going to see that one." Okay.
TV direction wasn't the best. I will definitely say that 100%
There was one. Did you catch the one where it was like one of the camera? It was like I think it was Leclerc. Was either overtaking or being overtaken, and the camera was like behind this man's head. It was like trying to catch. Did you see that? No. Oh my god, it was.
I didn't see that one.
Hilarious.
But I did see. I think it was something else won the Ferraris. There was like some sort of battle happening. Then all of a sudden it switched to a different battle, but the battle with the Ferrari was still in like a mini box. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's just about like the drama is just about to unfold. So that was frustrating. But TV direction probably the worst it's been all year. But they're always learning. It's always it's always a learning game for the drivers learning these new cars and also the TV director, clearly. Okay.
What's your opinion on the drone?
The drone.
Yeah.
I like that Formula One keep on trying new things. I don't think that was right, and I think it did provide a different angle. But those battles, especially the Hamilton Verstappen, and I think Leclerc and Hamilton a few times as well, I was just like, I don't really have quite the same perception as I would have done if it was the normal cameras and you see the speed and stuff. At the moment, all I'm thinking of is, oh, this drone's almost keeping up with the cars. This is cool. And I don't want to be thinking that. I want to be seeing the racing, you know? But a lot of people were like, oh my God, this is absolute cinema. It's amazing. And I was like, it's cool, but I'm not sure it's absolute cinema that I'm loving. I don't know. I think it's a step in the right direction. Just maybe that's not the finished product. But soon, there'll be drones all over the place and the whole race will be filmed by drones. Verstappen. Couple of rumours going into the weekend that he is thinking of leaving Red Bull. There's some sort of potential clause in his contract that if he's not second in the championship by the halfway through the year, he is free to go and he doesn't have to tell the team. People are murmuring about McLaren. But then he pulls off a second and dare I say, if he finished that lap where he crashed, he started fifth. I think he would have got third. Could have been in for the win. Red Bull have brought a heavily, heavily revised car. So Silverstone coming up this week. I don't know, but we're going to see a little Verstappen resurgence.
He seemed quite happy in his exit interview that I watched. happier than he's been anyway. He said, like, yeah, we brought a competitive car and I felt good. But I think it's also worth mentioning that, like, this is his race. Like, he is a 5-time champion at this race. And you could tell that, like, he was just right at home. Like, he started fifth, he ended up second. Like, so it could have been a bit of that as well. Like, he's obviously really, really highly skilled in this race particularly. So I'm not saying I hope that it's an anomaly, but it might be.
So I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's Verstappen doing next year?
I mean, there's so many variables, aren't there? I think we've talked a little bit about this before. Like, we kind of riffed on what direction we think he's going to go. I suppose things have changed now that we've seen a bit of the season. I think he's still going to be there. I think he's still going to be in Formula One, definitely.
Do you think he'll be at Red Bull, or do you think he'll leave?
I don't think that if this whole, like, him being second clause exists, I don't think that they're going to get there in time for it to be the case. If he leaves, it's going to trigger an absolutely insane sort of bidding war, I reckon. I think that George is in danger. I think that Piastri is potentially in danger. I think that, I don't know, does Max harbour any desire to drive for Ferrari? That seems to be a thing that, like, all these iconic drivers have always said, like, to drive for Ferrari is, like, the biggest honour in Formula One. So I don't know if there's any of that coming in. They've just re-signed Leclerc, which I don't understand. And I think we talked about it last week, but I'm happy to go again because I still don't get it. They're not going to get rid of Hamilton. So yeah, I think my biggest thing would be if he stays in Formula One, Red Bull keep going the way they are at the minute. Either he's taking George's seat or he's taking Oscar's seat. What do you think?
Toto's come out and said there's no room at Mercedes anymore. And I've got a feeling it's because I think if Verstappen and Antonelli line up would be suicide for Mercedes.
Right. Yeah.
And Russell is also slamming that door closed by doing performances like he did on Sunday. McLaren, Zach Brown said, like, the way it was put to Zach Brown, I went, there's something going on there. Now, for those who don't know, Max Verstappen's current race engineer is leaving to go to McLaren next year. Could there be something in that? Could there be? I saw a theory recently that it could be a swap between Verstappen and Piastri. Like, Piastri go to Red Bull, McLaren go to Verstappen go to McLaren, and I could potentially see that happening. They're not going to want to get rid of their wonder boy of Norris. Norris and Verstappen got on really well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. Although McLaren,
and Piastri hasn't been doing so great, has he? Like, he's sort of lost his mojo a bit.
No, but also McLaren are known as, like, the PR team, so Verstappen's going to have to, like, times his
do silly TikToks
PR
and stuff.
things, and sponsorship things. Unless he literally can get away with it and just go, I'm not doing any of that, and you still sign me for millions upon millions of pounds.
The thing is, if that, if he did go to McLaren, it has to be a swap because there's nowhere else for Piastri to go, unless he wants to downgrade back into a midfield team.
Well, he wouldn't want to, but it's not really his decision. If Zach Brown wants Verstappen and can break the clause in Piastri's contract, then Piastri, you're out, or try and figure it out yourself. But I don't think that. There's harmony in McLaren with Piastri and Norris. I really think there is. Would you want to upset it? I don't know. But, I don't think there's any room anywhere else. Like you said, Ferrari, they're not going to change Hamilton. They're not going to get rid of Leclerc. Mercedes, I don't think.
Even though they should.
And Antonelli. Well, which brings us nicely on to the Ferraris. We don't know what's going on with Verstappen. We'll find out, I'm sure, throughout the year. Ferraris. Leclerc his pace is gone. No, it's going. It's not as good. Like, he had the measure of Hamilton last year, but Lewis is twice he overtook him on track. That's saying something for teammate to teammate. Now, don't really have a reason as to why that was the case from Leclerc's side, but not great.
No. It just seems like week after week he's just not delivering, and then he just seems so unhappy. Like in all of his press junkets, you see he's just like, whether it's him being frustrated at the team or him being upset with his own performance, like it's usually one or the other.
I think he's upset with his own performance mostly in terms of like, on Sunday. I think it was more a case of he couldn't keep up with Hamilton. He was just burning through his rear tyres. Now, Austria was an outlier because it was boiling hot.
Yeah.
We thought it was hot where we are, but that was ridiculous. So, and Ferrari bringing Lewis in during the virtual safety car when Sainz stopped was just utterly pointless. And trying to throw a soft tyre on it there. I think he should just, Lewis said he thinks he should have started on the soft and he might have had slightly better at it, but he was still thinking if that happens, fourth all day, he got fifth, but the podium was out of reach. So it would be interesting to see if the temperatures come down this weekend for 100% the best race of the season. But before we get there, let's continue to talk about Austria. The McLaren's not fantastic.
Wasn't there a moment with Hamilton where they were talking about bringing him in, and I can't remember if it was him or his race engineer that was just like, it doesn't matter. Like, just do it anyway. I think it was Hamilton. I think they were like, you're going to come in, and he was like, it doesn't matter. Or when he was driving and he was like, why didn't you tell me? And they were like, we tried. Do you see that?
Tried, but he didn't want to listen to us.
We tried.
Shout out to Racing Bulls. Amazing race.
Yes. The L boys. Liam and Lindblad.
Although
Lawson and
Lindblad, he's got a bit of beef with the team, I think. I don't know if you saw his post-race interview, but he said something along the lines of, I was pushing really hard. I overtook Liam on track, and then they brought Liam in a lap before me.
Yes.
Which meant he got the overcut.
The overcut, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, and I thought they were going to do that. I was like, oh, you think the team's on Liam's side, not yours. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but that was the message I got.
His interview was a little bit spicy, for sure. It was a bit spicy. Yeah. So, yeah, no, they did really well, and we haven't got there yet, but I think I earned quite a few points with my predictions this week.
Don't even get me started on predictions. We will move on to that soon. Just going down. Audi strong showing. Unfortunately, it was 11th and 12th, but 2 by 2. But I think Bortolesso mentioned something along the lines of, we only are likely to score points if something goes wrong in the top 5 teams.
Yeah, he said there wasn't any. Which is fair. But yeah,
100% fair.
Yeah.
But the times where it has happened, they've also broken down, or Nico's car's been shut off by a piece of gravel. Pierre Gasly not fantastic. Haas, where have Haas gone after this amazing start they had to the year? I need to talk about Aston Martin.
Yeah, go ahead.
Aston Martin 2022. Fernando Alonso was the second quickest car out there. He was getting podiums. How has it got this bad? Fernando Alonso finished 3 laps down.
When they've poached a team behind the scenes that on paper should be like the Avengers of engineering in motorsport. Yeah.
And the facilities they've got and everything else.
Yeah. And the money.
But they haven't, but also, whilst everyone is upgrading and improving their car, they haven't touched theirs. They have a B-spec car, heavily rumoured to be coming in Belgium, to see where they're at and to see if it's going to be any better. But Alonso must be like, why do I bother? It's not like, come on. Alonso's, 42?
How many DNFs has he had this season already? Is it 3?
Don't know. It must be a lot.
Yeah.
It would be more than he's finished, surely. But he's 3 laps down. Lance Stroll retired on lap 45. Sainz, he's another one that must be going, why me?
Oh my gosh.
In the Williams.
Poor guy.
And then Cadillac both had a fire of some sort, so the brakes just broke after 2 laps for Bottas and 4 laps for Perez.
Bottas's brakes went on fire more or less at the beginning. He was like, my brakes are literally on fire. Also, but Lawson said that his brakes were on fire.
No, he said I'm on fire. As in, like, he didn't. It wasn't anything to do with the brakes. He just said the car's on fire.
But did he mean? Oh, but did he? So he meant like it's really hot, or did he mean like I'm doing really well, guys?
No, I think there was a small fire like somewhere on the car that he could see, but we couldn't see it as a viewer. We were looking at it like, where is it? And he finished best of the rest.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hats off to him. Right, speaking of best of the rest, let's go straight to our predictions before we talk about the Silverstone Grand Prix coming up. Okay, so Spain. It wasn't Spain, it was Austria. That's the typo from me. Silly J. Austrian Grand Prix. Okay, so qualifying last. Sinead said Stroll. I said Ocon. Sinead gets 1 point for Stroll.
Yes.
Qualifying in pole position. I said Leclerc, which was a definite shout had it not been for Russell going faster in that final thing. So 1 point to Sinead, because she also said Russell, and it was indeed Russell that got pole position. Best of the rest. I originally had Lawson, but due to our stupid rules that I made up, I'm not allowed to say it if Sinead says it. So Sinead did say Lawson, and I said Gasly, and it was indeed Liam Lawson. So Sinead is 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
That's impressive. Then in the top 5, 5th place was Hamilton, 4th place Piastri, 3rd place Antonelli, 2nd place Verstappen, and 1st place Russell. In 5th place, you had Leclerc, I had Norris. That is no points for either of us. In 4th place, you had Norris, I had Russell. That's 1 point for me because he was in the top 5. In 3rd place, you had Hamilton, and I had Leclerc. 1 point for you because Hamilton was in the top 5. Leclerc wasn't. In 2nd place, you had Verstappen for a 2-pointer. I had Antonelli for 1. And in 1st place, I had Hamilton for 1, and you had Russell for another 2-pointer. That is a solid week, Sinead.
That's my best week that I've ever had.
That's 8 points for Sinead and 3 points for me. Oh, she's
Verstappen was a shout. Verstappen was a shout. I'm just saying.
It was.
It's because I did literally a tiny bit of research for once. That's.
You've pulled the points. So the point deficit last week was 13. It is now 8. You are coming in hot. Well done. Very, very good. Right. Let's, before we have a little discussion about Silverstone, should we do our predictions for Silverstone?
Yes.
I'm not even going to write mine because it doesn't make a difference. Because if you say the same person, it doesn't count. So, who are you thinking for qualifying last?
I am going to say Bottas this week.
I'm going to say Stroll. Because I just think Aston Martin are just dire. Although Bottas is a shout, I think they're going to struggle I do think they're going to struggle at Silverstone. So good guess there. Pole position.
George Russell.
Oh, she's putting all her eggs in his basket. Okay. Who am I going to go for? Oh, is it going to be Mercedes again? I'd quite like it if it wasn't. Has Hamilton got the magic? Has he got the magic? Do I go for it? I don't think so. I think he's going to get better in the race. I'm going to go for Kimi Antonelli. Oh, it's so boring, but here's what it is. Best of the rest.
Lindblad.
Good shout. Very good shout. Damn it. I am going to... pass haven't been great. I'm going to go... You know what? Am I going to stick with him? I am, in 2 seconds, going to tell you if I'm going to stick with Pierre Gasly. I think he will do well in Silverstone. Okay, 5th place, Sinead. Who have you got?
I am going to say... I had it. I'm going to say Max.
Verstappen. Okay. I will go for a 5th place finish in the shape of Lando Norris. 4th place.
Antonelli.
Antonelli, okay, he's dropping the ball, and Russell potentially is going to get some more points than him. In 4th place, I am going to throw in a hopium that Leclerc and Ferrari are going to be quick in Silverstone. I'm not entirely sure they will be. In 3rd place, bottom step of the podium, who are you going for?
Lando.
Norris to be on the podium. I love that. Very nice. Who am I going to go for? Oh, this is hard. Oh, I don't like this now. I feel like you're putting the pressure on with the closing up of 6 points in 1 week, and this is making me worried. I think I am going to put, if Hamilton wins Silverstone and Ferrari, it's going to go into absolute rapture. It would be an amazing prediction. I'm going to get Russell. So I think Russell for 3rd place for me. 2nd place, Sinead.
Hamilton.
Oh, she thinks Hamilton's going to do well, at least on the podium. So I can't put Hamilton there, which is kind of a good thing for me. So I'm going to put Hamilton there. So I'll put Antonelli in 2nd, who is going to get jumped because I've put Antonelli on pole position, which therefore I'm assuming means you're going for George Russell in 1st.
Lance Stroll. No, yeah,
you know what? Imagine if Aston Martin turned up and it was like having us all down.
If that happened, you would have to give me 35 points.
If you guessed Lance Stroll and then he won, yeah, sure.
No, I'm obviously sticking with Russell.
Okay. You think he's
see what I've done here? What I've done here is I've put a strong British bias on the results because I feel like the home game will spur the British drivers on a little bit more. So I've gone Lindblad, I've gone Hamilton, I've gone Lando, I've gone Russell. I was actually considering Behrman, but as we discussed, the Haas is not doing so great, so I don't think that that'll make a difference for him.
I know. Haas is not up to scratch anymore. I've been Silverstone twice, and I have to say it's the best event ever. Definitely worth a shout if anyone ever gets a chance to go. I know it's expensive, but it's definitely worth it.
But I mean, if last year's race is anything to go by, it could be a total circus. Like, do you remember last year? Like, it rained, like 6 cars crashed into each other. Hulkenberg came 3rd in a Sauber. It was my favourite race of last year.
Always produces.
It
always produces. That was last year. The year before that, Lewis got that win in the Mercedes. In 2021, you had the infamous crash with Hamilton and Verstappen.
Mm-hmm.
Verstappen's finished with 3 wheels on the car. Not Verstappen. Lewis has finished with 3 wheels on the car. Vettel was going for the win and all of a sudden pulled over on the main straight and everyone cheered. 2008, if you're going to watch a race, which we sometimes say, Sinead, 2008 Silverstone Grand Prix, absolute whitewash for the entire race. I mean, it's history and people that watch Formula 1 will know this, but Hamilton won by over a minute. But in terms of like just how everything pans out, it's
unfolded. Yeah,
it's definitely. It's also the old layout. I prefer the old layout. Don't prefer it, but it's definitely no. Both layouts are lovely and great. I think what they've done to the track now makes it more interesting for these types of cars. It used to be a bit of a circle, but some of the corners on that previous circle were great. It's a cracking race, and I am very excited for it. So, yes. It's Silverstone. I think don't know. I'm hoping for a banger. I really am. Where will you be watching it this weekend, Sinead? Just at home?
It's a good question. What's happening this weekend? Well, it's my anniversary on Saturday. So I would imagine that I'll be watching it. The anniversary of my relationship, not like my death or whatever. Let me see. Yeah, I'll be watching it at home with I would imagine, quite a big hangover. So there we go.
Lovely.
What about you?
Lovely,
will you
lovely
be
time.
Here or Jamaica or something?
I'm flying to Barcelona the day after, but I will be here for the race, whether I'm going to watch it from home or maybe try and convince my wife to go out to. My wife's currently working on a job at the moment, so I never see her, but maybe I can see her on Sunday and we can go to like a pub or something.
Is there a pub that shows Formula One? We should probably have this conversation off air. Where?
There is.
Okay, yeah, because I really would love to do that too.
I mean, shout out to Franklin's in Belfast because they have it on a very big screen down there and it's great.
Yes, yep. But I thought because at the moment it's the World Cup, I thought maybe they weren't showing it, but I don't know.
Very good point. Very good point. Probably are showing the World Cup, although it won't be at the same time because it's American times and they're later. Okay, let's move on to Quizifying, if that's okay.
Woo! Yep.
So, obviously, my question, it is, and my question is revolving around the Silverstone Grand Prix and the one and only Lewis Hamilton, who, as we have all worked out, I'm a big fan. Everyone has to be a fan of Hamilton. It's a fairy tale story. Grew up in a council estate. It's amazing. Okay, so Hamilton has the most wins of anyone around Silverstone. He's the GOAT. He has 9 wins. He loves it around there. Can he make it 10 this weekend? Who knows? But how many times has Lewis Hamilton qualified on pole position at Silverstone?
Okay. So I think it's going to be less rather than more because he's not really the sort of driver who's going to give up a pole position. He doesn't seem to do that very much. So I'm going to say 5.
Wrong.
What is it?
6.
Oh.
6. 2007, his first year, also worth a watch. Not the race, but the qualifying. Definitely worth a watch because you can hear that's when the engines were like screamingly loud, and you can hear the entire Silverstone crowd above it when he crosses the line. It's one of those goosebumpy moments. 2013 for Mercedes, 2015 for Mercedes, 2016 for Mercedes, 2017, still all of them Mercedes, 2018 and 2020 are all the races where Lewis Hamilton got pole position at Silverstone, but didn't win all of them. There was a couple of races where I felt like he...
Do you have the stats there of when he didn't qualify on pole, but he did win?
No.
Okay.
No. Maybe I do. Actually, no. I'm going to find it for you right now. Okay, yes. So in 2024, he qualified second, but won. In 2021, he qualified second, but won. In 2020, he started on pole. In 2019, he was second. In 2017, pole. 16, pole. 15, pole. Wait. No, I am right. Oh, for God's sake. Where did I go up to?
15.
15 pole. 14, 6th.
Oh.
Started 6th in 2014. And then in 2008, he started 4th, but he was second by the first corner. Yeah, so there you are. I mean, I hope you feel enriched with knowledge.
I do. I respect him even more now. Okay.
Yeah, he is force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you ready? Who am I? I competed in 8 seasons of Formula One between 1994 and 2003 for a total of 107 Grand Prix races. And though I never won a Grand Prix, I did win at the 24 Hour of Le Mans after my Formula One career ended. During my time in Formula One, I drove for 7 different teams, including Minardi, Tyrrell, and Simtech. My highest career finishes came at the very start of my career, where I won 2 third-place podiums in Hungary and Belgium in my rookie year. Throughout my entire Formula One career, I earned a total of 17 points. Arguably, my most memorable moment in F1 was at the 1994 German Grand Prix, where my car was set on fire in the pit lane after petrol spilled out onto my hood during a routine refueling. After I crashed into the pit wall at the French Grand Prix, destroying a TV installation, FIA brought in acrylic glass to prevent this kind of damage moving forward. You could say that this was one of my biggest contributions to the sport. Wink, wink. I speak 3 languages, I've been married 3 times, and I have 5 children. Who am I?
I'm not entirely sure.
You know I like to make them slightly vague.
94 to 2003 with only 17 points. 1994 and 1996.
You could say that was my biggest contribution to the sport. Wink, wink.
What? That was my biggest contribution. I don't know what that means. I was potentially going to say Eddie Irvine at one point, but he got more than 17 points. Sure he did, because he drove for Ferrari. And he nearly won the championship. So it's not him. Biggest contribution to the sport, wink wink. What does that even mean?
It's kind of me, like it's kind of like a joke. Like his biggest contribution to the sport was the introduction of safety measures. Or was it something else?
It was Jos Verstappen.
It was!
That should have been so much quicker. Should have been so much quicker at that.
The joke is that his biggest contribution to the sport was giving birth, well not him, but contributing to the birth of his son Max Verstappen, who is one of the all-time greats. Yeah.
Yes. Very good.
That was the joke. Yeah.
Very good. If I didn't get that, I would have probably had to retire from Formula Fun. I'm glad I took my time. Why did I even think Eddie Irvine? I think Eddie Irvine also retired in 2003. Or maybe it was 2004. I can't remember.
He crashed with Eddie Irvine. Is that so?
Yeah.
They were definitely
lovely. Right. Okay. I think that's all we've got time for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably time to box. So. If you have been listening to our podcast and you are enjoying it, please share it with your friends.
Please.
We're having fun doing it, and I feel like we're getting a few listeners, and thank you so much for all of you guys that keep on coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And for you watching as well, if you're watching YouTube. But yeah, we can't put any more time into it unless we start getting more listeners and more subscribers, really. But yeah, we love doing it, and we hope you do this. And if you have any suggestions, please feel free to write in. If you've got any questions about the sport, we're here to try and unpick them and try to. We're fans of the sport, and that's all we are. We're just chatting about it once a week as well. So have a wonderful week. Enjoy the Silverstone Grand Prix because it's going to be a banger. If you watch any race of the year, has to be this one. And Sinead, it's time to box.
It is indeed. You have been listening to the Formula Fun podcast with me. Oh, every time. You have been listening to the Formula Fun podcast, where Jay brings the formula.
And Sinead gets it wrong every time. Bye, everybody.
Beep, beep.
See you later. Bye.